Let's see if I can have a chat. Hello. You can just send the messages on the chat. And we're going to start soon. Let's just wait for the others and see if they will join in the next 2 minutes. But how is everyone doing? Good. I'm good. Had a very busy day. Just hot. I know. Where are you guys from? We're in South Africa. I'm having a hot coffee, speaking of being hot. Joburg. Is Joburg also hot? It's boiling here in Durban. Oh, Cape Town. That's so cool. It is boiling hot here. I'm also recording this, so if the others don't join anytime soon, I will send out the pre-recorded one as well. So I'm going to wait another minute. You all received the email, right, with the link? Just wanting to, I sent it this morning. Yes, I will send the link of the recorded version. It's going to be on YouTube, but like private, and it's only going to be for people who have access to it. Yeah, it's Friday. Some people, they forgot. They're having fun. Let's have a look here. Yeah, I sent it to everyone. Okay, I'm going to share the screen while we wait. And do you guys have your pen and papers? If you didn't get time to print out the debt bundle, that's perfectly fine. I've got my budget one here. Sorry, these are my headphones on the way. I got my budget one here just because I want to do my budget using this. If you didn't print it out, it's okay. But if you did, that's also perfect. If you didn't, just get a notebook. And we're going to use this for the year because it is a 2025 strategy that we are going to put in place for us to get out of debt. If you don't mind sharing, do you know how much you currently owe, like the full debt, the total debt? If you don't mind sharing, there is no pressure. Have you done any calculations? About 300. Okay, so same as me. Okay. Hello, Tabi saying, me too. Oh, wow, okay, so we are in this journey together. I had my other client that I was talking to earlier today, and she said she's owing around 70,000 and she's so stressed. And I understand that she's so stressed, but then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm owing like 300,000. And she was like, yeah, but it's still so stressful. I was like, that's fine, we're gonna do this together. Excluding bond, okay, no, that's necessary debt. It's not something you want to worry about too much. I'm looking at my other screen here. I'm about to share the screen. No, not this one. Not this. Okay, it's 5 minutes in. Let's start. Let's share the screen. Let me find the screen I'm sharing actually. Sometimes get so confused with Zoom. Tell me if you guys can see anything. I don't think so because it's like orange. Okay, stop sharing. Let me close everything here. Close. Leave side. Give me a few moments, guys. Should be ready shortly. Okay, let's try now. How's it looking? I now can't see the chat box. So if I do this, can I put it on my other screen? Okay, I can see the chat box now. Lovely. But can you see the screen now? Can you see something? Can you see the presentation? Let's see if I do this. Okay, no, it's fine. Yes, I can. Okay. Still saying no. Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Perfect. Okay, I think we all can see. And let's begin. Anyone who joins us, we will try and keep them along. But also, like I said, there's going to be a pre-recorded version as well available for anyone who couldn't participate because you did buy the debt bundle, and I'm very grateful, and it's really going to help you. And we're going to go through everything. There's 18 slides, as you can see. I worked so hard to prepare this for you guys, so I really hope you appreciate it. So let's start with basically who I am. So I'm going to start by talking about me. Who I am, my name is Noma, and I am the founder of Nomazdiary. How I started my journey was in 2018. You can even scroll down to my to my YouTube videos. When I first started, I gave birth to Skylar, who is my 6-year-old very busy girl. And oh, my laptop's not charging. I don't know why. Sorry. And after giving birth to Skylar, I just had a moment of realization that, okay, now we are in, it's not longer about me. We are in a situation where there's another person in our life, and we have to make sure that we have plans in place for her, for the future. And I needed to understand, why am I working overseas, earning dollars, but I don't have any savings? So that's what happened. 2018, I realized that I've been working here in New Zealand since 2015, and it's 2018, and I don't have, actually leave the fan off. So it's actually making noise. I didn't realize it. Sorry, guys. So it's been 3 years of working here in this country, and I've paid off university fees, so I was proud of myself for that. I got my mom a car. I was proud of myself for that. I was sending money home. I was taking my mom and her sisters. My mom's from a family of 8 girls. Her and her sisters on vacations, and I was like literally making them enjoy their life. But when I gave birth to Skylar, my mindset shift, and I realized I don't have savings. I was comfortable with just spending my money recklessly because I get paid weekly, and that's how much I make a week, and I'm fine. So when that happened, I then pulled out our statements, me and KB, who's my husband now. At the time, he was my boyfriend. We pulled out our statements and we had a look at, okay, where is our money actually going? You know, it made me sick to my stomach to realize majority of our money that we work so hard for me, it goes to online shopping and eating out. For me specifically. For KB, he doesn't online shop. He actually doesn't shop a lot. He's not into clothes. but it went to drinking and cigarettes and also eating out. So we realized that, okay, there's a problem here. Most of our money is going to things that are not even like priorities. And I started looking at these clothes. Like, let me see all these clothes that I bought. And I had so many clothes that still had tags because I'm just scrolling online on Superbulous, for example. It was ASOS that I really loved at the time. I'm just scrolling online and I realized that I am just addicted to just, oh, that looks nice. Let me buy it. I've got the money, so let me just buy it. And it became easy to buy because I've got the money, but I actually don't need it. So then I started to ask myself, okay, what do I need and what do I don't need? So we wrote down our goals. What would we like to see in 12 months? Next year, this time, how would we like to see our finances look? So now we've got all these financial goals, which I'm sure you also have financial goals, but now we don't know how do we implement the strategy to get to those goals. Hello to any to the one that just joined us. The webinar is recorded, so you will get a recorded version, but we just started. I'm just introducing myself. So as I was saying, so now we have these goals in mind that we want to achieve, financial goals, but we don't know how to get there. So it's us here, the goals are here, we just need a bridge to get us here. And that's when I started doing my research on budgeting, on managing your finances, on the easiest way to budget and actually have an understanding of your money. And I came across the 30, I actually wrote it down, 50, 20, 30 method, which was 50% goes to your needs, 20% goes to your savings, 30% goes to your wants. That was a method I found. And I was like, okay, let's try it. I then realized that our 20% of saving it's too much. It's too much because we've got other bills that we need to take care of. And it hit me that, hey, my 20% and your 20% is not the same. So how could this budget method actually be possible for everyone? Like, how is this method going to work for everyone? It's like, okay, no, this is not going to work for me. This is going to make me feel like a failure. So I'm just going to have to look for something else that is going to work for me. And I kept doing my research. And then that's when I came across the cash stuffing method. So I was like, okay, this looks interesting. Let me try this method. So I tried the method. I even spoke to my grandma on the phone at the time. And I asked her, like, how did you stay out of debt? How did you not have so much debt? And she was like, oh, we bought a lot of things in cash and blah, blah, blah. And I realized that, oh my gosh, the system that has been created now, that you need to have a credit score in order for you to buy anything, is actually crippling us. It's putting us into so much debt because you just got this job. So you just completed your qualification, whatever it is. And then you get this job and now you want to buy yourself a car or whatever you want to buy. And they're like, oh, you need a credit score. And then you're like, okay, so you go to Woolworths or Truett or whatever, and you open a store account and then you just get stuck. And it seems like you've got money that you don't have, and it just builds up and it builds up from there. Credit starts building up from there. So I realized then that, okay, let me try the cash envelope method. But now when I do the cash envelope method, I was like, what am I going to do with the extra money that I have now? Like, what must I do with that? And as I was doing more research on budgeting, I kind of got addicted to it. And I've seen some people who watch my videos and they're like, Norma, I can't stop watching your videos. I'm just binge watching. That was me. That was me when I started the journey. I couldn't stop watching budgeting videos. The one person who changed my life is called the Budget Mom. She's in the US. And I just kept watching and I kept watching and I kept like immersing myself and like trying to intake as much information as I can. And I just wanted us to move from here to here where our goals are. And then that's when I came across the zero-based budget. And that is when my life changed. I was like, okay, so when they say every single amount of money has to have a home. They don't mean you spend everything. They mean you actually have a plan for every single thing. So you have a plan for your investment. You have a plan for miscellaneous, where things just pop up here and there. You have a plan for your fixed bills. You have a plan for your needs, your wants, You put everything in your paper. If you've got your debt bundles with you, you put everything in your paper, and then you decide what is important to you. Right now, if you are in this webinar, what's important to you is to pay off debt. So then I would look at my nails this month and be like, okay, my nails are 400 Rand. That's going to have to wait. Let me take this 400 Rand and let me pay off this, and let me put it into the store card, because at that store at Woolworths, I only owe 2,000. So if I don't do my nails for just 5 months of this year, temporary, I can pay off that account. So you start having an idea of what is important to you and what don't you need and what do you need, and let me prioritize that. So I started like that, doing the budget method. And then I started to record myself. And again, like how I said earlier to the ones who are not here, if you had to scroll all the way down, very embarrassing videos, because I was just new into YouTube. I think this was 5 years ago or 6 years ago. You'll see me budgeting using like New Zealand dollars, trying to budget and trying to like figure things out. And I was like, let me just share my journey. There could be someone out there as well who needs, someone who doesn't understand what's going on, but is trying. Okay, 2020 happened, so 2 years later. Now we financially looking good, KB and I. 2 years later, we come back to South Africa in February. No, we come back in January to get married. So he does the lobola in February, and our wedding was going to be in March of 2020. Now we all know what happened in March of 2020. We all know what happened. COVID happened, and our wedding was postponed for 21 days. Remember, 21 days. So it was postponed, and then obviously 21 days led to 200 and something days. And KB is a chef by profession. So the tourism industry was not like, it was so hard for him to get a job. And at the time when the borders open, or I don't know, what do we call it, when they started letting people travel from province to province, I managed to get employment, and that was at Varsity College. I started working there. I was the only breadwinner at the time. Nomazdiary I was not monetized on YouTube. I didn't have any other income. It was just this job that God blessed us with. And I said to KB, okay, we have one income, but we have this budget strategy that we are using in New Zealand. We don't want to vaccinate our daughter so that we can go overseas. At the time, if you wanted to go overseas, you needed a vaccination certificate thing. So we didn't want to do all of that. We're like, let's just settle here and let's just figure it out with one income. We can do this. So we started doing our budget method, the usual one, and it worked. But then I was still stressed because I was like, we don't have any savings. And that's when we started with just 10 Rand. I was like, let's just start with just 10 Rand. Let's just put 10 Rand in an envelope. I designed like a black envelope, and we just started putting 10 Rand in the envelope, putting 10 Rand in the envelope. And then that's how the 10 Rand envelope method started. I recorded a TikTok video that went viral, and Nomazdiary started there. And people were like, what is this method you're using? Can you talk more about it? And I was like, yeah. So I budget like this. Oh, what is that budget book? How do you use that? I want to buy it. And then that's how Nomazdiary started. We started getting an extra income coming in from those products before even YouTube monetized me. And we use those funds to help us to, buy things and to get, stuff for our family. Zoom was sending me a little notification. So we used those funds on top of the income. And then 2021, KB got a job. So that was, again, God's grace. And then we needed to get a car that was more reliable because we lived so far from where we worked. So we would go on the N2 traffic, which was hectic. And the car I was using at the time was just not good for long distance. So we had to get a car. And in order to get a car, I needed a credit score because I don't have a record of me driving in South Africa. So the car insurance is also going to be too expensive. But also, I've never driven in South Africa. I had a license, but I just started driving in New Zealand, not South Africa. So I needed a credit score, so I had to get a store account, and then I got the car. And then debts just started. Nomazdiary blew up. I didn't know who to borrow money from, and people wanted journals from me. We had to get a loan in order to buy journals. And it just started from there. And when we were in like this deep hole of debt, where every single month there's a huge minimum payment going into debt, I knew that, okay, now I need to learn how to actually pay off debt. And when I say pay off debt, I mean quickly. Like if you've got debt that you took 6 months ago, we have to try and get rid of it in 18 months. Even though they gave you 72 months, the goal is to get rid of it in 18 months. And I'll show you why with the interest and stuff. Okay, so that is a little bit of my story and how everything started. And you probably found me on YouTube or Instagram, but all you see is just me sharing my journey and being transparent. And it's a lot of things that, it's a topic that a lot of people don't talk about. And I've realized in South Africa, a lot of people are struggling with debt, and it's not your fault. It's not because you're dumb or you made stupid decisions or whatever. It's not. It's because our system, our school system is created in a way that it teaches us to be employed and also to have a credit score to be able to afford things, to be able to afford a home and stuff. And then you get stuck in this debt. So you have to come back to work because you need that income. It doesn't teach us personal finance at school. It doesn't teach us how to start a business and make extra money at school. It teaches us just to have a job and then get a credit score, so get debt, so that you get stuck in the cycle of paying that minimum wage. And also, you won't leave your job, even if you're miserable, because you've got this debt that is hanging on your shoulders, that is stressing you out. So my goal, Nomazdiary, was created to get us out of that, to get us out of this debt. If you feel like leaving your job, you don't want to be stressed because I've got this debt. You can just be like, you know what, I'm not happy here. Let me look for something else. And I've got an emergency fund that's up to 6 months of income. I can leave while I look for something else. That's the type of personal financial peace that you need to be striving for, to be able to decide to leave a job if you're not happy, to be able to have a good emergency fund that can take care of you, even if they let you go. So if you don't want to leave and they let you go, you want to be able to be comfortable and not be stressed because how am I going to afford being let go because I've got so much debt that I have to pay off? So the goal for this webinar is for us to learn how to get out of debt so that we can start managing and owning our finances, but also to use the extra money, that minimum payment that you are paying on your debt every month, to use that to invest and build your wealth, build generational wealth. Okay, so that's the goal. Is everybody with me? Put on the chat, yes, thumbs up or whatever, so I can see that we are all aligned. Now, before I move on, also please put on the chat, what is your goal this year? If you want, you can put a figure. So for example, my debt is up to 300,000, just like Tejo. And I'm hoping this year I can pay 200,000. I would like to finish it off, but I've got a main figure of 200,000 that I would like to actually pay off. So even if I don't get to paying it off, like the 300,000, but if I get to 200,000, I'll be happy. So what is your goal? Let us see. I'll wait for you guys. I'm gonna disrupt you guys by talking. To pay off half the debt. Okay, so like 150K. I want you to write that down, hey? Write that down. Write 150K on your notebook. I hope everyone has a notebook or a paper, but a notebook is good because you can track. I've got my notebook here, as you can see. 100K to 150K. Write it down. Write that down. If possible, if you can, print it out or whatever, create the 100K and put it on a wall that you see every day or your mirror. And then you remind yourself every day of your why. Okay, so we've got 100K to 150, 150, minus 200K. What else do we have? Don't be shy, guys. Let's get one more comment. One more. Come on. Yay. 450K. Whoa. Okay. Yeah. All done. And you know what's nice is that you're starting this now in January. You're not seeing this in June and you're feeling like, oh my gosh, the year is almost done, because that can happen to our mind. And as you can see, the highlights for today, as number 4, is mindset and challenges. So, you know, when you have such a big goal and it's around June that now you're thinking, okay, I need to actually start this journey, you kind of get in your way because it looks unachievable. But anything is possible. Anything is possible. You just need strategies in place. You need to know that, okay, I can only get to this, but for me to get to this, this is what I need to do. So let me start doing that now. And that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so today we've got 4 main highlights that we're going to talk about. Participant asked you to start AI campaign. No, deny. Today's highlight is understanding your debt. That's number 1. Number 2 is debt payoff methods. Number 3 is creating your plan of attacking. Number 4 is your mindset. Because let me tell you something, without you mentally preparing yourself, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to get in the way of you achieving that goal. Something as simple as shopping. You're gonna one day look at these clothes and be like, I spent 2,000 Rand at Zara. I could have taken that and put it in my debt, and then I was going to buy the clothes when I'm debt free. Because let me tell you something, in this journey that we are going to be doing a lot of sacrifices with our money, it's temporary. If I pay off my debt at the end of this year, you're going to see me living this luxury lifestyle that I want to live. I want to live a life that I love and I enjoy, and that is fancy to me. I'm not a labels person. You're not going to see me with Louis Vuittons and things like that. But I love a good lifestyle, and I think we all do, and that's what God wants for us. God has plans for us to prosper. You know, He has plans for us to be able to be successful and speak life into our goals and our dreams. He put dreams in our heads, like how we did with Joseph. He put a dream in his head. But it doesn't mean there's not going to be temptations that want to stop you, because the enemy knows that you are meant for like greatness. So he's going to put things in the way, because he comes to steal, kill, and destroy, that are going to make you give up and feel like, oh, I don't believe in God. God doesn't, you know. But we are meant to have a prosperous life. We're not meant for this poverty, and we're not meant for that. So it starts now. It starts now. And you cannot change what you don't know. So once you know what you're working with, you start making changes. Okay, so number 1, understanding your debts. That's the first thing we are going to cover. So first thing is to gather all your debt information. So how much you owe, your interest rate, your minimum payments. Who has done that as yet? Who has written down everyone I owe. This is just a personal thing, hey? We're all online. That means we're not sitting in a group. You're not embarrassed. No one is seeing your numbers. This is just you. I put myself out there because I'm just whatever. I'm transparent like that. But right now, you are in your own, whether it's a bedroom, whether it's an office, whether it's an whatever, wherever you are on your own, and you have to come face to face with what you are dealing with. And it's so easy for us to hide. Like the story of Adam and Eve, when they ate from the tree of good and evil that they were not to eat from. And when God came into the garden, they hid themselves. So easy for us to hide and then not come face to face with what we are actually going through. So don't hide. So I want you to write it down. Use this minute. I'm going to give you 1 minute. And write down everyone you owe. Everyone you owe, including the bank. For me, it's FNB. I owe FNB 2 main things and NetBank. Write down FNB, NetBank, ABSA, my mom. I don't know. Write down everyone you owe. Don't have to write down the balances as yet, but just know who do you owe. Who do you need to return your money back to for you to feel at peace? I want you to write all of them down. I'll give you a minute. It's 31 right now. If you printed out your debt bundle, it's going to be on, let me just open my file. Don't you think, guys, I should have been a lecturer? My dream was to be a teacher. Where is my debt bundle? Where did I put it? So once you've written down, you thought I was a lecturer. I would have loved that. I think my students would have loved me. Once you've written down who you owe, next to it, write down the balance. If you don't know the balance, just put a question mark, and then you can go back to it after the webinar and you can do your self-reflection and check. I want you to know exactly where you stand so that we can make a change. You cannot make a change if you don't know. Even if it takes you another 3 years, I promise you, now that you are aware, and after this webinar, it's going to take you shorter. You're going to finish your debt and be like, oh my gosh, I wish I started this journey sooner. Because every single decision that you will make now about your finances is going to affect your goals. My goal this year is to pay the 150K. So I don't have money to play around with, because I have to reach that goal. And if I do play around with that money, then I am putting myself in a position of still being miserable about the debt that I have. You have to be able to keep these promises to yourself so that you can trust yourself. Okay, so you've wrote down who you owe, how much you owe. Perfect. Interest rate now. This one, it's hard sometimes for people to find and stuff like that. We're going to go through how to read your statement shortly. But if you know your interest rate, put them down. And what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to send you like a small little spreadsheet that you can use to calculate your interest, and I'll show you how as well. But I'll send you like a small mini one. So who do you owe? How much do I owe these people? And what's the interest rate? Is it 20%? Is it 19? Is it 10? What is it? Revolving loan, credit card, overdraft, and balloon. Now, after that, write down what is the minimum payment. What are you paying monthly on each debt? Monthly, what is being deducted from you? And the last section, if you have space, is next to that. So now you know who you owe, how much you owe them, what is their interest rate, how much do they require from me every single month, and lastly, when do they want their money from me monthly? Is it the 25th? Is it the 1st? Is it the 15th? When do they take their money from my account? And if you obviously don't know, again, put a question mark. You will go on your bank app later and you will check and write it down. This is crucial. When you are doing your budget, so like this sheet over here, when you are doing your budget, I want you to write down your debt first. Before rent and stuff, which is obviously your needs as well, over here, I want you to put first your debts. I don't want you to miss your minimum payments because that causes areas and causes a lot of trouble. So your minimum payments are fixed bills. They're not something on the side after you pay off your needs. They are part of your fixed bills. You don't want anyone calling you and say, hey, you didn't pay. That's so stressful. Okay, so keep that information now with you, now that you have that. Okay, so I want you to also take time later to pull out your highest priority debts. So now that you wrote all of them down, let's say, for example, you have 5. Raymond over here has put 4. You've got 4 of them. I want you to highlight or put number 1 next to your priority one. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next page over here and I'll show you what I mean. This is what I mean. So your debt picture. This is like I took a snapshot of my debt. This is what it looks like. So if you have more than one, you're going to list them all like this. List them down like this. And then on the side, you're going to put your number 1 priority. That's the one we are going to be attacking. That's the one we're going to create a plan to attack. Because once you've attacked that one, whatever the minimum payment was, it will move on to the next one. Okay, so now I'll come back to this page. I just want you to have your debt picture in front of your face. It's like, you know, when you take a screenshot on your phone, it's like taking a screenshot of all your debts. You have it face to face. Okay, so let's go back over here. Okay, so now we're going to go understanding your numbers, how to understand your numbers. First thing, we're going to look at statements, how to read a monthly statement. I want you to know the total balance that you need to pay in that loan, in that balloon payment, in that credit card, the minimum payments which you just spoke about. And I want you to use a spreadsheet to see how much of the minimum payments that I'm paying monthly is actually paying off the balance. How much is just making the bank rich, but how much is actually paying off the balance? Because that's when you'll calculate how long will it take me. And if I put an extra certain amount, it will be shorter, which I'll show you now. Okay, so first let's go through a debt statement. This one is mine. As you can see, it is a F&B bank statement. So if you have F&B, all you do is you go on your F&B app and you go under statements and you'll see every month and then you just download it. So this is how I got this one. This is showing me the three things I want you to know. I want you to write down what was the original loan or the original debt. So for example, if it was a car, what was the original amount that you borrowed? What are you currently owing now? Let me tell you why I want you to know these two things. If you have a look here on the side, let me see with my mouse. Hopefully you can see my mouse moving over here. If you have a look here on the side, you're seeing how much we have currently paid on this loan. What does this do to me? It helps me celebrate my small wins. Because if I'm just looking at this on my bank app, when I log in my F&B app, trying to make other payments, and I just look at this, I feel like I am in, I don't know, in the darkest corner, and nobody cares. God doesn't care about me. That's how I feel. When I see that, I'm like, oh, well, my life sucks, you know, because I'm just looking at this. But when you know that this is how much I started with, this is how much I'm still sitting with, which sucks, but I'm so proud of myself for being able to pay off this amount. So you celebrate little steps, because when you're going up a step, you don't just take a big step and you get there. You take one step at a time. Even kids. Skylar right now is 6. There's some things that she knows that she didn't know when she was 1. It was all just 1 month at a time, 1 day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 year at a time. You know, you're not going to just jump unless you win the lotto. Now, obviously, that'll be amazing. But you have to be able to celebrate that you've just taken a step closer to your dream of being debt-free. Then to look up and see how far it is and just feel like defeated and feel like giving up. Okay, so we have to celebrate our wins. So I want you to write down your original loan amount minus it to what you are currently owing, and celebrate that this is how much I have contributed, and these are the steps I've taken to getting closer to my goal of paying off debt. Okay, that is important. So when you're reading your statement, you have to know these two things as well. You also need to know how long to go. How many months have they given you to pay off this debt? That is important so that you don't stay with this debt longer than they gave you, but also so that you can target yourself to pay it off shorter than they gave you. But also to calculate, if you had to go with the months that they gave you, you're going to end up paying this much interest. That's when the spreadsheet comes in. That's what we don't want. And I'll show you why. Not now, when we look at the spreadsheet. So now there's something called debt trackers. And I just want to explain how they work so that you can use them, because it is fun to do. It is good to see. I still have my debt tracker somewhere here, the one that I paid off my first F&B loan. But this is how they work. Okay, so as you can see there, it says debt visual tracker, which we all have. When you bought the debt bundle, it came with a lot of trackers. And my debt over here shows that I've paid 22,793. Now, how do I color in the tracker? So what you do is you count how many lines your tracker has. And let's say, for example, it has 50 lines, 50. I've got my calculator here. So if I take the 300,000 that I am paying off and I divide it by the number of lines. So write this down so you don't get confused. Take your total balance that you owe, divide it by the number of lines that are on your tracker. So let's say it's 50 lines. So I'm going to divide it by 50. That means each line is worth 6,000. So every time I pay 6,000 on my debt, I can color in a line. Okay, so now as you can see, I've paid 22,793. So what do? I take the 22,793 and I divide it by 6,000. That means I can only color in 3 lines. Okay, so I'm going to do a whole YouTube video about this so that you know how the trackers work, but it is good to use them. It's a visual way to stay motivated and feel proud of yourself. It's another way of celebrating your wins. We are visual people. We have eyes for a reason, so that we see things that give us pleasure. So seeing yourself getting closer to getting debt free is going to motivate you to keep going. You're going to want to fill up that tracker up until you are actually debt free. So this is how the trackers work. Now let's carry on with the debt statement. Now that you know what was the loan amount and how much you are currently owing now, your current balance, how much you have paid towards the loan, and how long you have to go. Now that you know those things, you need to know as well the interest rate. So I get a lot of clients that don't know their interest rate. And they go, I don't know, Noma. And sometimes I have to calculate it and I use a spreadsheet and I tell them. But if you look on your statement, I don't know obviously about other banks, I only use F&B. Is everything still fine? Can you guys still see me? Because it just sent me a notification saying my internet is unstable. Okay, thank you. If you know your interest rate, thank you so much. If you know your interest rate, you'll be able to calculate how long it's going to take you to pay off your debt using obviously the spreadsheet, which I said I'll send you the mini one after this on emails. Where I sent you guys the link, I'll send you the mini spreadsheet just for debt, just to calculate how much is actually going into debt. Okay. Now the biggest one that you need to know is that monthly minimum payments. So as you can see, F&B breaks it down nicely. They show you your basic repayment. The CPP premium, I actually want to find out if I can take it out. The reason why I'm saying that, because as a financial advisor, I have cover for if anything had to happen to me to pay off all my debt. So I actually don't need that. But anyways, I will contact them and ask them. But my CPP premium is so high, like that 800 is too high, but it's there. So, and then admin fees, they're always there. So they're 69 Rand. In total, how much I'm paying towards my debt is 9,662 Rand, 83 cents. So technically, it's 9,663 Rand to me. When I'm doing my budget, you'll see a 9,663, just rounding it up. This one, you have to know it because you have to pay it monthly in order for you to not be in trouble, to not be in areas. Sorry, guys. Okay, anyways, this is important for you to know. So you're not in areas, you're not getting in trouble, you are paying your minimum payments, even though you are on a journey to pay it off, but you need to be able to be doing your monthly payments. The goal is to pay more than the monthly payments, but the monthly payment is very important. You don't want to ruin your credit. You don't want to get phone calls that are irritating. And you also don't want to stress yourself out. Okay, so the minimum payment, put it in your budget. So now we've seen my actual debt statement, the full one. And now you have your debt picture. So after you've seen your statement, you create your debt picture. So while we were doing that little exercise at the beginning of you writing down your debts, if there's some things that you're not sure of, like, I don't know how much is the interest, or, I'm not sure of the full balance, then find your statement. Every bank will have it. If there's a bank that says they don't have it, they're lying. They want to try and trap you to pay forever and ever. So find your bank statement and be honest with your numbers. You can even message me and be like, Norma, I found all my debts. I just need that one-on-one maybe with you. And we can book a one-on-one. And I can assist you. And I can give you a strategy in place that is more personalized for you. Okay. So we've written everything down. Now we need to make some calculations. These calculations are going to change the way you're going to think about how much it's going to take you to pay off and how much is actually going into my debt. And also it might piss you off, which is kind of what I wanted to do. I wanted to piss you off so that you can realize how much you need to get out of this. Okay, so for me, it pisses me off. It's all I talk about. It's all I think about. I'm pissed. So if we have a look here on the spreadsheet, I hope that this is clear. But if you have a look here on the spreadsheet, I've got my debt set up. So I've got my Nedbank credit card, FNB credit card, and the personal loan. This is how much I owe, which I said we must write down. This is how much is my minimum monthly payment. This is how much is my interest rate. Now, what's nice about the spreadsheet, it also shows you how much is actually going to interest. What does that mean? How much is just there to make the bank rich? From what I'm paying every month, this 9,663 that I'm paying monthly, 5,000 of that is just going to make the bank rich. It's not even touching my balance. It's not touching this. It's just to, I don't know, do what at the bank? Just sit there and be their money. So that pisses me off. That should be my money that I'm putting into investments for Scala, for my future home. You know, for me to live the life I want to live, the life that will make me happy. This shouldn't be money that I just give to the bank because I just want to make the bank rich. I just want to make FNB rich. No. Okay, so because now I am pissed off about how much, if I take that amount of money and I times it by, let's go back, and I times it by this 72 months that they want me to pay the debt off by, let's calculate. So what is that, 5,600 times 72 months? It's 400,000 Rand. Just interest, which is more than what I borrowed. All right. So now that you have an idea of that and you're realizing that, okay, I cannot do this. I cannot live like this because I could be creating wealth instead of just money just being taken from me because I was at a very tough situation and I had to borrow money, and now they are leveraging off that and they are abusing that position of being able to borrow money from me. I have to be responsible. I have to be accountable. I cannot blame anyone. I cannot say I'm in this situation because I had to borrow money for you, mom, or I had to take care of this or whatever. I cannot say that. I cannot point fingers. What I need to do is find a way to get out. I need to get out of this mess. I'm in mess. I need to get out. Okay, so how do I do that? First of all, is to know how much is actually going into the loan. So if we go down here, that is the second tab of the spreadsheet. I'm going to share the spreadsheet shortly and we can have a look. So how much is actually going into the loan? So out of that 9,000 I pay, only 4,000 is going into the loan. So if only 4,000 is going to the loan, how long will it take me to pay off this debt? So if you drop down over here, as you can see, it's going to take me 26 months. So I'll pay off this debt in 2027. So that is another 2 years. In 2025, so 6, 7. And I'm going to end up paying 86,000 Rand on interest. I don't want that. I want to change this 26 year to 12. I want to pay it off by next year, January, when we do another debt attack plan strategy. I want to say, guys, I'm paying off my last installment end of this month. I am done. I want to say that. That's what I want to say. Who wants to say that as well? You? Want to say next year, January, I'm paying off my last installment. And then February, I'm putting that money that I was paying into debt into a good portfolio. And I know so many good portfolios. As a financial advisor, I sit down with clients that have millions. They are just like, oh, Norma, I want to put money into a portfolio for 5 years and I want it to mature. And I'm just like, I want to do that. I want to do that. But I can't right now because my priority is to get out of debt. It's so hard to build wealth when you have debt. Otherwise, I want to end up withdrawing and, seeding my investments. I don't want to do that. So if I go now I'm going to stop sharing. You're going to see probably a big picture of me. If I now go to the spreadsheet just to show you how to manipulate it. Which one is it? Is it this one? Let's see. Oh, sorry guys. Can you see the spreadsheet? Yes? No? Okay. Okay, let me stop sharing and share it again. Sorry guys, Zoom confuses me sometimes. Share. Now. Can you see the spreadsheet now? No. Don't know why. I am literally looking at the spreadsheet. What can you see? Tell me, what can you see? I only see the top bar. Okay, let's do this. Let me do that. And then let me do this now. What about now? Yes, okay, yay, finally. Yeah, Zoom stresses me out sometimes. Let me make it bigger so that you are not squinting your eyes. Can everybody see it clearly? Yes. Okay, so if you have a look here, we can all see, right? Sorry, I just wanted to get that confirmation. I don't want you to miss. Okay, thumbs up. Thank you. If you can see over here on the debt payment, it says what I just showed you right now on the other slide. At the bottom over here on the debt calculator, this is where the magic happens. So the magic here will show you that, okay, if you're just paying your minimum payments, it's going to take you this long and that's when you'll be debt free. Now, my goal, like I said, is 12 months. If I don't in 12 months, I want to at least have paid off 200,000 and just owe 78. But we're not going to speak life over that for now. We are saying we are going to be debt free January 2026. So let me go back to the bill setup now. And let me say, okay, I'm going to change this and add an extra 10,000 on top. So I'm going to work hard on putting content out there. I'm going to work hard on being of service to other people so that they can buy my products and it's going to help me make more money and I can pay off debt. I'm not going to enjoy a single profit that I'm making. Everything's just going to go to my debt. So if I put a 1 over there, it means obviously 10,000 because now I'm paying 19,000 in total. The interest amount is still the same because the amount owed is the same. But now, how much is actually contributing to the principal, to the actual balance? So let's go back to the debt calculator. So now, as you can see, it went from 4,000 that's contributing to the debt to 14,000. But now let's drop down over here. It went from 26 months to 14 months. So, okay. If I pay 10,000 extra every month, I could pay it off in 14. But I want to try 12 months. So maybe let's bump it up by another 2. So instead of paying 19,663, let's plus 2,000. So now I'm like working with a 21,600 Rand mark. So if I go back to the bill setup and I go 21,663 on that, and I go to the debt calculator, now 16,000 is contributing and it has dropped down to 13 months. I'm happy with that. I already know that I'm happy with that. Because Jan of 2026, next year, when we have another one-on-ones like this, a group one-on-one, I want to be saying, guys, at the end of this month, we're paying our last installment. So I'm going to write down my number, 12,000 more that I need to be paying. So after our webinar, I want you to play around on the mini spreadsheet that I'm going to send you. And I want you to write down your number. And I know you're probably thinking, Norma, I don't have any extra money or whatever. Just write it down. Okay. If I click here, do you see the slides? Yes, yay, okay, I got it. Now I know how to use Zoom. Okay, so we've just talked about how to manipulate, which is the next slide, how to manipulate the spreadsheets in order to guide you. So if you're having a bonus month, you're going to put your bonus into your debt and it's going to show you, the spreadsheet will show you, okay, this is how long you have to go. Because I can try as much as I can to like motivate you and guide you, but you need something that's going to also motivate you at home when you're on your own. So if you know that you've got an extra increase coming in or an extra bonus coming in, remember this is temporary, hey? These are temporary sacrifices that we have to make. I've planted the seed now of what you need to do, and all you have to do is just keep watering it with the decisions that you are making every single day, every single week, every single month. And once you are debt free, you will start living the life of your dreams. You will start saving for traveling. You'll start investing, which is the most important thing, to create that wealth for yourself, for your children, to break those generational curses of just getting a job. You don't want your child to get a job. And okay, they just completed their qualification. They get this amazing job, which pays them 15,000 a month. And then now they have to get a car. Okay, they need a car. Maybe they're in sales, they're a sales rep. They get a car, which they're paying like 4,000 a month. And then they are a new driver. So the insurance is like over 1,000. So it's around 5,500 Rand just going to a car a month, plus petrol and stuff. And then there's also rent that they need to pay for. But then they also need to help mom at home. You don't want that. You want them to send money if they feel like it. You know, you want to be able to live your life as well without like waiting for someone to send you money. And how we do that is by paying off this debt and investing to create that wealth. Wealth creation, guys, wealth creation is the goal. Write it down. Wealth creation, financial peace. Okay, now I want you to create a budget. What will create a budget do? Creating a budget will give you an idea of every single month when I get paid, my income, 20,000 Rand. I'm making an example. Write your income on top of your paper or your book, or whatever you're using. Write your income. And then I want you to write all your needs, just your needs. Remember, include your debt, minimum payments. So start with your minimum payments. So Vodacom, 400 Rand if you pay for Vodacom. Because some of my clients leave out their contracts, their phone contracts. That's debt. That's owing someone. Put it as a minimum payment. You want to try and pay it off as well, or always little as possible. So write down all your minimum payments, Vodacom, a loan, Standard Bank credit card, whatever, loan shark, I don't know. Uni fee loan, that was a new loan. I didn't even know about that it existed. But now I know it's payday loans. They are horrible. They've got a very high interest if you have one paid off. Put all your minimum payments first, and then put your rent and put everything else as well. All your needs and your minimum payments of your debts. That's a need. Again, remember I said you don't want to get in trouble. You don't want to be in areas. You don't want to ruin your credit as well. So I want you to write your income and write all your needs. And then after that, I also want you to add a certain amount of money to contribute into an emergency fund. It can be 500 Rand a month, or 200 Rand a month, or 1,000 Rand a month, whatever it is. But those are the main things I want you to focus on. I'm currently doing a low buy year. The low buy year is basically me prioritizing needs, emergency fund, and paying off debt. Any wants, so if I can't do my hair this month, I will go with these braids up until they are super old, because I'm not going to go and pay for my braids because I'm having a low buy year. I'd rather take the money that I spend on my hair, which for braids, it's so expensive. It's around like 700-800 Rand. I'd rather take that and put it into my loan, because that's not a need for me right now. Or I can take out my braids and just do cornrows. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I work from home. It's okay. If I have to go see a client, I'll put a wig, but I'll be fine. You know what I mean? I have to make a decision that is going to impact my financial goals. You have your goals. What is your why? Have a picture of your why sitting in front of you. Let me show you my why. Got it right here on my desk. There she is. That's my why. My little girl. If mom is not working as hard as she is, if mom is in debt, my little girl will lose her home. My little girl will get out of this nice school. It's a very nice school she is in. We worked so hard to put her in this school, and I'm not rich or anything like that. It's a lot of work to put her in this school, and I want her to stay in this school. It's safe. It's great education. The teachers are good. The sports, she's swimming. But if I lose everything and I'm in bankruptcy because I'm in so much debt, she's going to have to get out of that school because we can't pay the school fees. We're going to have to get out of here. We live in Umhlanga. I'm not rich or anything. I just want to give my child a good life. That's my why. Have a picture of your why in front of you. And then you know that when you take money that is supposed to be going into paying off debt so that you can build wealth for your family, for your children, for yourself, you are taking away from you. You are robbing yourself of a great life without owing the bank. And that's what I want. Okay, so do your budget. Remember, just needs, your minimum payments on needs, your debt minimum payments, because that's the priority right now. Priority number 1, your minimum payments. Priority number 2, well, not really priority number 2, it's all priorities, but you know what I mean? It's your actual monthly needs. So like Wi-Fi, you need Wi-Fi. We need internet this day and age. It's a need. Put it in there. And then also put a portion into an emergency fund. I recommend Time Bank, not because I've worked with them, but just because the interest is good. The interest is good. It's up to 7 to 10% because they don't have a bank, like a physical bank. So they have an online bank. So they have high interest, which is good for your money to make babies, to grow. And just keep putting in the 500 Rand a month there. Just keep putting it at, or 200 or whatever you are okay with. Once you have done that budget, now I want you to think of, okay, income minus all of those bills that I've wrote down equals whatever amount of money. That amount of money is going to contribute into the debt attack method that I'm going to go with. Now in the chat, just so I can see what you guys think, out of these two, the snowball method or the avalanche method, what do you think is the best method? Remember, there's no wrong or right answer. There's no wrong or right answer. What do you think is the best method? It's like avalanche, snowball. It's like, if I had to ask you now, again, please try and answer if you can. What is the best ice cream? What is the best ice cream flavor? Vanilla. I would say vanilla as well, but KB might say mint chocolate. Skylar will definitely say strawberry. There is no best method. There is no best ice cream, but there is a best method for you. I want you to find the best method for you. Okay, so there's two popular methods, the snowball method and the avalanche method. The snowball method, if you look at your debt picture that we did at the beginning, remember I said to write down all your debts, write down all your balances. The snowball method is basically paying off the debt with the smallest amount first. So if you are owing 2,000 Rand on Woolworths and you're paying 500 Rand a month on that, the first step is just to pay that 2,000, sacrifice a lot of things in your budget, pay that 2,000 and close Woolworths. And then you take that 500 Rand that you were paying at Woolworths every single month and add it onto the next smallest debt. That's called the rollover effect. So you're taking that monthly payment that you were paying on that debt that you just closed, and you're adding it on top of the other smallest one. So let's say the next smallest one is the UNIF loan of 3,500 Rand. So now 3,500 Rand, and the minimum payment for that is probably, 700 Rand. Now you're going to take that 700 Rand that you're paying on UNIF loan plus 500 Rand that you are paying at Woolworths, and now it's 1,200 Rand that you're going to pay at UNIF loan, and it could take you a good 3 to 4 months because of interest to pay it off. So after 4 months, so now it's April, end of April, you paid off UNIF loan. The next debt that you are owing that is also small is probably a credit card of 8,000. And let's say for the credit card of 8,000, you're paying a minimum payment of 1,000. Now you've got the 1,000 that goes to the credit card plus 700 Rand plus 500 Rand. So now instead of paying just 1,000 on your credit card, you're now paying 2,200 on an 8,000 credit card. And with the credit card, what I want you to do, Raymond, when you pay your credit card, I want you to lower your balance. So every time you pay money in your credit card and your interest has come off of it, go to, with F&B, you can just drag the thing on the internet banking. You can just drag it to lower your balance, and then keep lowering your balance till it's around 2,000. We can work with 2,000 because I want you to keep using it to buy your groceries and then paying the money back. Use the money that you have when you have lowered it to around 2,000 so you can keep building your credit score. But then once you've done that, and then you move on to the next one and you just keep rolling over your minimum payments. This needs discipline, because what happens is when people start paying off their debt with the snowball method, the little debts, they start realizing now they have these monies that are available. No, it's not available for spending. Take it, put it into the next debt and pay off that next debt, and keep rolling over up until you pay off all your debts. That's a snowball method. That method is advantages. It's beneficial, I don't know what word to use, but it's great and beneficial for someone who lacks motivation and self-discipline, because when you pay off that small loan, it gives you that instant satisfaction, gratification that, okay, I did it, I checked this one off, I scratched this one off, let me go to the next one. And if you obviously do well with that, then it will be great for you. It's best for you. It's going to keep you going. The avalanche method on the other side is different. So how the avalanche method works is you start paying off the debt with the highest interest rate. So again, look at your snapshot, your debt picture, and have a look at which debt has the highest interest rate. Now for me, it's a 24% personal loan. So I have that credit card, that Nedbank credit card, which is just 16,000. I have F&B credit card, which is 20,000. And then I have the personal loan, which is 278,000. Anyone would probably think, let me just pay off Nedbank first and then F&B and then start tackling that, right? I am not looking at that. I'm looking at the interest that I'll pay, because one thing that I didn't go through, let's see if I can show you guys. You can see the spreadsheet, right? Thumbs up. Yes, okay. So one thing I didn't go through over here. So if I go back to my bill setup and I put back the 9663, which is just the minimum payment, and we have a look here, this is how much I'll end up paying on interest, 86,000 Rand in total. But when I make it the 21,000, was it 21 plus 12? 9663 plus 12,000, 21,663. I drop it by half. It goes from 86,000 to 42,000. Did I draw that on the screen? Sorry about that, guys. I don't know how to remove it, and I don't want to mess up this presentation right now. So I drop it by half. It went from 86,000 to now 42,000 on interest. So because I'm a numbers person, paying 86,000 over 42,000, that doesn't make sense to me. I'd rather pay the 42,000 over 86,000 and technically save, the 44,000 on interest. So I'm going to focus on tackling the one with the highest interest. And that's the avalanche method. So when you look at all your debts and you see the one with the highest interest rate, that means that one is making the bank richer than the other ones. So you prioritize getting that one out of the way, and then you pay with your small ones. Because if you take your small ones and do the same thing and put your interest and everything, you will see how small the interest is actually going over there. It's going to the bank, like it's 300 Rand or whatever. I'm not saying it's nothing. It's just smaller than 5,000 Rand of interest. Okay, are we all still good? I don't want to have frozen. Still good? Okay, perfect, thumbs up. Right, now let's have a look at the third method that a lot of people don't talk about. So a lot of personal finance YouTubers and gurus out there, they talk about the snowball and avalanche method only. But what about your own method? Because remember, there is no best method. There's a best method for you. So let's say, for example, excuse me, just coffee that I'm drinking. Let's say, for example, you have 10 debts in total. Remember, this is your journey. There's no judgment here. But the goal is for you to attack these debts. And you're going to just take it one debt at a time. So let's say, for example, you've got 10 debts in total. And you don't want to technically do just the avalanche method, but you also don't want to technically do the snowball method. There's something called the hybrid method, that you are going to decide what works for you. Maybe you're going to start with the smallest debt just to get rid of it, and then you tackle another one with the high interest, and then you move on to another small one, whatever, depending on your goals. We all have different financial goals. Okay, so you remind yourself of your goals. Don't be like, no, Norma only said the avalanche method is the best, or I read somewhere that the snowball method is the best, but I don't know, something's just not working. I wish I could just pay this off, but no, I have to stick to the snowball. No, you can start with the snowball, move on to the avalanche, come back, just create what works for you. The only thing I would ask you to do is just to be consistent. And how do you do that? How do you be consistent? How do you move that minimum payment that you were using and paying on another debt that you've now paid off to another minimum payment? Is by having a solid why. Why this has to work. Why this cannot fail. I cannot afford to fail at paying off this debt this year. I cannot afford it. I have so much goals. I want to buy a home for my child. I want to travel. I want to be able to live the life I enjoy without worrying that I owe someone. Why? Why? Write down your why. Okay, so the best approach for paying off debt is the one that is aligned with your financial goals. So basically, the first step is to set your goals. That's why when I asked you at the beginning, what is your goal for 2025? When we meet again next year, or we can even do this every quarter if you would like to keep each other accountable. But when we meet again, you want to be able to say, Norma, I didn't get to 100,000, but I got to 87,000, which was so close. And the only way you could get there, it's because you're focused there. You probably will get to 100,000 and be like, no, I want to start my investment journey. And as a financial advisor, I can advise you and open portfolios and things for you and have one-on-ones with your family and show you exactly how you can grow your wealth. I can do that for you. But first, let's get rid of this. That is going to make us work forever. Who wants to work forever? I know we all want to retire early. I know that. But with debts and stuff, it's not possible. It's going to be hard. You're actually going to make your kids, have to do the black tax thing that it's like a trend right now that everyone is talking about. The black tax basically means that, you have to send money home. You have to, because I think everyone who is grateful and has a good heart is going to want to make the people who raised them happy anyways. Is going to want to bless them here and there with money and a dinner, a getaway or whatever. But when you feel obliged, when you feel like you have to, it feels like tax. And how do we break that? Is that when our kids are now working and we've decided to retire, they don't have to send me money because I had a retirement plan. I had an investment plan. I don't have any debt. I've paid off my house. I've paid off this. I'm fine. Okay. So we're planning for the future. So step number 3 is now to create your debt attack plan. So that budget I told you to create, I want you to have a look at this budget. Remember, this is pre-recorded. So you might not have created anything right now. You've just been watching me. Maybe you find me interesting. Some people just like, no, I just want to watch you like a podcast. I want to listen to you like a podcast and just, I'm like, apply what I'm teaching you. So you can rewatch it and apply every single thing that we are going through today if you are not going step by step right now. So I want you to take a look at that budget of yours. What are your needs? Obviously your debt minimum payments and a little portion going into your emergency fund. I want you to take your income minus those needs. So I made an example here. Let's say, for example, my income is 20,000 and my needs are 12,000. So let's say 11,000 is going into debt and other need payments, electricity and stuff. And then 1,000 is going into emergency fund. And I'm left with 8,000. What do you usually do with that 8,000 that is remaining? My cousin borrowed money and I had to send her e-wallet. I went to Spur with my friends, and then I went to go buy some new shoes at Zara, and then I don't know what happened to this money actually. Uber Eats, whatever. So I want you to be very intentional with whatever is remaining. If there's not, we're going to get into it now. Whatever is there that is remaining, I want you to use 20% of that and put it into priority 1 of your debts. So if 8,000 is remaining, 20% is just 1,600 Rand. If you want to put more, perfect, lovely. 50% of that will be perfect. Where does 20% come from, Norma? Why did you pick randomly 20%? I was currently going through the story of Joseph, and he basically, to summarize everything, a famine was going to come in Egypt. So they were going to have 7 years of plenty and 7 years of famine. And Joseph is the only one who could interpret that dream. So in order to prepare for the famine, he needed to put a strategy in place. And what he said is, when we trade our grain, he was telling the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, when we trade our grain and we receive, income or whatever, grain, whatever they trade in with, 20%, let's put it away, store that away. And that's for when the 7 years of famine come. To me, God over there is teaching me how to budget and plan for when a famine comes. So I was like, oh, let me use the 20% strategy for other things. So when you have your remaining 20%, put it into your debt. And then you can use the other, what did we say, 1,600 Rand? That means you can use the other 6,400 Rand to your wants, to your Netflix and your whatever. But you know that you took 20% of what was remaining and you put it into your debt. You prioritized your why, your reason for being. What is actually causing you to be stressed? What is giving you sleepless nights? You prioritized that, and it's going to give you a sense of proudness. And if you do that for 6 months straight, you'll see how quickly your debt will be going down, and the interest amount will start going down as well. That interest that I said is just making the bank rich, you'll see it start going down as well, and more going into your debt. And then you're going to get addicted to that. You'll be like, okay, I'm going to bump up my 20% to 40%. My hair can wait. My get together with friends can wait. They're not going anywhere. I'll see them. But I've prioritized my goal. My financial goals, I'm aligned with them. You have to be aligned with your goals to trust yourself. When you make a promise to someone, you intend to keep it. But when you make a promise to yourself, you don't keep it. So now you're no longer trusting yourself. Okay, so try the 20% method of the remaining. Now, these are the results of not following the strategy of going shopping. As you can see, this girl, pick a girl, went shopping over there. This girl just went shopping. These are the results. As you can see, I put 6. There's a lot more I could have put, but I put 6. I want you to just read them. If you don't get face to face with your debt picture, if you do not create a strategy, if you don't prioritize just your needs on your budget and temporarily leave out your wants, and then out of that remaining amount, put 20% of whatever is there into your debt, as it's a good instruction that we saw in the Bible that helped when famine came. When famine comes, if you had to lose your job, if you had to be let go, at least you have tackled that debt. Because while you had plenty, while you still had an income, you made wise decisions. Like a wise man who Joseph was. But these are the results of not making wise decisions when it comes to actually having debt. You're going to accumulate interest. You saw the interest. I showed you the interest that if I had to pay off my debt in this method that I'm working on, so 12,000 extra, I'm going to pay just 42,000 in interest. But if I don't pay my debt, my minimum payment is bouncing, or I'm just paying just the minimum, then I'm just going to keep accumulating interest. I could be using that 42,000 that I'll end up paying the bank. I could be using it to invest for my future, for my goals. I'm not ready to buy a house right now, just because I've done my research on how much a house costs. It's not just a bond. House owners, please comment down below. It's not just a bond. Tell me exactly what you pay for. Tell me the rates, the levies, the things that we don't know about that we are renting. We jump into this decision and then you're just miserable. So if you're a house owner, please let us know, what else do you pay for? So I've done my research and I realized financially we are not ready, and it's okay, because when we're ready, we want to enjoy the process as well. So you don't want to accumulate interest. You don't want to impact your credit score. You don't want to delay your life goals. What is your life goals with your lifestyle, with your family? Do you want to travel with your family? Do you want to buy a home for your kids? Do you want to go see a family member who lives a bit far? Do you want to do something amazing for your parents? I don't know. Whatever life goals you have, they get delayed. Do you want to get a degree? Maybe you didn't get a chance to go to school, so after a matric, and you still want to do that because you have a certain eye on a certain career, but it's being delayed because finances are intense. It causes stress and anxiety when you look at your budget every single month and you're like, I don't know, how am I going to make it? Because I'm just drowning in this debt. So you get stress, you get snappy, you get anxiety. When a call comes through, you're like, oh my God, net bank. You don't want that. When people are borrowing money from you and you're like, if only they knew. I'll go through that. I'm like, if only people knew. You don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. And that last one I've been talking about the whole time. Those calls harassing you. You don't want that. So these are the results of not attacking your debt and just getting out of it. Okay. So I want you to focus on investing in yourself. So right now, I don't want you to focus on investing in portfolios and stuff. I'd rather you get out of that debt and then build your wealth. But I want you to invest in yourself. So how do you do that? So I want you to invest in something that will create an income. So next week at the same time, I'm going to do another webinar on how to create a brand, an online brand that will bring you money. So this is now touching on people who did their budget and realized, I don't even have enough. I don't even have enough for that 20% Noma that you spoke about from the remaining, because my budget only has enough for my needs anyways. I want you to invest in yourself and learning how to make money online. I say specifically online because chances are some of you are working full-time. I don't want you to have 2 jobs. Now that's also going to create chaos. So I want you to learn a skill that's going to bring you money online. And like I said, next week, same time, I'm going to be doing another webinar on how to build a brand. How to build a brand online that will bring you money. How to find what you love to do. how to leverage what you love to do, how to find your people. And I can tell you right now, your people are out there. They don't know you exist. You don't know they exist. But they are out there. Whatever you have to offer, there is people out there that want that. Whatever that solution is, there is people out there after. And I can tell you because me, I wasn't shy, but I was very timid. I wasn't someone who was popular or made like a big impact. I mean, I was in like, leadership things at school, like RCL, prefect, those kind of things. But I was very like timid. And me, 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. What? 50,000 followers on Instagram. Where is this coming from? I found my people. My people found me. All I had to do is be of service and share solutions. That's all. You'll never find a video of me saying, buy this journal or whatever. I'm just trying to find my BFF. It's not. Oh, there it is. Oh. I was actually doing my budget this morning. You'll never see me saying, hey guys, there's a BFF. It's 400 Rand or whatever the cost it is. Buy it now, whatever. You'll never see me do that. Actually, what I'll do is show you what the BFF has helped me with. So now that I've shown you the results, the solution, and the help that I get from this, automatically you're like, where can I buy it? I need it now. So there is a solution that you have that some people need. I don't know what it is. But some people need that. I was talking to my other clients today. So I do a lot of one-on-ones. I literally talk all day. So I do a lot of one-on-ones, and she was saying how she went through IVF and stuff, because we were talking about infertility. If you don't know, we've been trying to have another baby and struggling. This is just me being open and transparent, but I'm that type of person. And she said she went through a lot of IVF and etc. And then she finally got pregnant, and she was so happy. And when she gave birth to the baby passed away. The baby lived for like an hour. How horrible. How heartbreaking. Again, this just teaches us to be kind to one another, because you don't know what people are going through. But wow, I was so sad. Like I was crying because you're telling me so much. I went through so much for this baby, and then I lost it at birth. My body is still producing milk. I've got all of these clothes that I bought. And then she's like, I started to pray, and I prayed and I prayed for 8 months straight. And then I got pregnant naturally without even expecting it. And now my son is here 1 year and 3 months. And I was like, you know what? Nobody talks a lot about infertility and giving birth to babies that pass away and stuff. There is people out there who need this. It's like, there's people out there who need this. Not a lot of people are talking about that. And that's what I saw. I was like, there's people out there who actually would benefit from finding out how to actually manage my finances in the most clearest form. Because a lot of videos that I found, they would speak, the terminology, the finance terminology, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Just be clear. Just teach me like I'm in school, because in school we didn't get taught. And I was like, oh, I'm that person. I wanted to be a teacher, so let me teach. Let me go online, put my camera on, and let me teach. And when I started my channel, I was like thinking I need to be like other YouTubers, they're so loud, like, hi everybody. And I was like, that's not me. But then you know what? The 5 people that find me, I know that this will make an impact in their life, and I invested in myself. I recorded videos on YouTube for 3 years, over 3 years straight before getting monetized on YouTube. And all those videos that I recorded 3 years ago make me money today. That's what I mean. Invest in something that will create an income. You know what wealthy people do? Wealthy people use their money to create an asset that will bring them income. So create something once. I designed these once at around September. Yeah, I start the design. October, we print our first sample, and then we tweak the sample or whatever. Maybe the font is too big or too small or whatever. And then we print out the final ones. And I print out 200 of them. And then this brings me money every month. Every month. You create something, you invest in something that will bring you money. You do not use your money to just pay bills, but you use your money to help you create something that will bring you money. So join courses if you can, webinars if you can, things like that. I try and make my webinars as affordable as possible. It is taking, what time is it? It is almost 8 o'clock. So almost 2 hours of me sitting here teaching. I'm going to now edit this recorded version, send it to you. So obviously it can't be free, but I make them as affordable as possible. So if a course is too expensive, then join webinars and learn as much as you can. Number 2, invest in financial instruments like spreadsheets and trackers and things that are going to help you, guide you. A one-on-one with a personal, a finance coach, which is me, a budget coach, or a financial advisor, and both. A one-on-one, invest in things like that. They're going to help you. Investing in yourself you'll never regret it. It's never a waste. If you paid money for a degree that I'm now not using, which I'm grateful for because it did open doors for me, but I'm no longer using, then 191 Rand on a webinar to learn so much that will change your life now is nothing. Create and sell ebooks. You are good at something. I promise you are good at something. I don't know what is it, but you're good at something. You're good at eating healthy. I don't know, create healthy recipes. Create ebooks. Canva is free. I am working on a devotion for finance and faith, merging it into one thing. All the verses in the Bible that I know about finance that are going to show you that God designed us for prosperity, not for poverty. I'm creating that so that it can help you change the way you think of yourself and start. They call it now manifesting, but start creating as God is the creator and made us in his image so that we can also learn to create. And he says his name is I am. So when you say I am, you are creating. If you say I am poor, I am a failure, I am this, that's what you're creating. You need to start speaking positive things over yourself. So I want to create a devotion like that that's going to help people. I'm going to use Canva. I've got InDesign, but I can use Canva. There's so much templates. Create ebooks and put them on Etsy. Do that. It's going to bring you money. I'm not joking. I didn't have money at first. As I told you, I had to get a loan to print books at the first time when Nomazdiary blew up. But I had PDFs, PDF envelopes, not the zips that you are seeing now that we have. We started with PDF envelopes. You would buy an envelope, it comes as a PDF. We still have them actually on the Shopify shop. And you cut them yourself. I had an instruction video that shows you how to cut your envelope and you start saving. And then I created a PDFs, saving challenges and PDF journals. And then I started creating the physical one using some profit and getting that loan. But create something you're good at. What are you good at? You have them too. And so everything you see. Skylar uses them. Do you have kids? They could use them. Find what is it that you're good at. What are you good at? What are you good at? Still use them. So create and sell ebooks. If you don't know what you're good at, Ikigai. There's something called the Ikigai. You can join next week's webinar if you want to. I will go through the Ikigai. Or you can just search it on YouTube. But if you like the way I explain things, then you can join my webinar. Monetize your knowledge. So I spoke about YouTube with me. The knowledge I had about personal finance now makes me money. Even if you don't buy the BFO for anything of mine, the fact that you watched my video, the fact that you clicked on my website, I am making money from Google. I've monetized my knowledge. Now, obviously, if you're buying my product, I'm making more money from that. So find a way to make money off what you're good at. There's a lot of money to be made online, guys. There is no cap. No one is going to say, you've made 100,000 Rand, now it's done. It's done. You cannot get past it. No, you can make as much as you can. There's enough for everybody. All you have to do is just get yourself out of your comfort zone and take it one step at a time. Remember, we spoke about steps. The goal is to just be 1% better every day. I need to learn how to edit on CapCut. Okay, watch CapCut editing videos or join the Cornerstone Club or whatever it is and just learn how to edit videos, how to record voiceovers, whatever you feel like you need to work on. But let me tell you the biggest secret. It's not a secret, but I want you to work on your strength. Whatever you're good at, master that. Don't waste your time working on your weakness. If your weakness is editing videos, don't waste your time learning how to edit videos. If you're good at public speaking, then just go live and speak. You don't have to edit anything, it's live. If you're good with ebooks, then just put them out there and write your captions. Maybe you'll need Twitter and your threads because they are more writing. They're not Instagram where it's more videos and TikTok it's videos. So find what you're good at and mold that and make it like your strength, build it more. Weakness, you'll get to your weakness. I'm working on my weaknesses, but I'm focusing on what I'm good. I'm good at this. I'm good in the communication. That's what I'm good at. Thank God my mom put me in drama because I was very timid. Mom put me in drama. She was like, go do drama. And lastly, affiliate marketing. What is affiliate marketing? If you don't have an idea right now of what you want to produce, you can advertise what other people are doing and make a percentage of that. So I am going to put my spreadsheet or some sort of my digital product, but I think my spreadsheet is good. I'll put that on an affiliate market platform. So KB is still working on that. I don't know what platform. He's doing his research. He's joined a course to find out all about that. Once it's there, I will tell you guys, because you can advertise or tell your people to buy this spreadsheet because it has helped you like this. Have you seen those things happening on TikTok and people are like, buy this digital marketing thing, They make a cut from that. So you can advertise something you believe in. And if it's this spreadsheet on how to pay off debts and whatever, how to manage your finances throughout the year, then you're advertising it. And when someone buys my spreadsheet, you're making 50% of that. So if someone buys my spreadsheet for 400 Rand and you take 200 Rand home, let's say, for example, you advertise to, I don't know, TikTok is pretty good because you can reach a whole lot of people. Let's say you reach 1,000 people or 1,000 people end up buying it in 1 month. So not in one day, in 1 month or in 1 day, you never know. 200 times 1,000 people, that's 200,000. That's 200,000. I should be doing affiliate marketing. So if it's just 50 people, so 200 times 50 people, you're making an extra 10,000 from a product you didn't create. All you have to do is advertise it, and then you get a cut. I get my 50, you get your 50. Affiliate marketing. Look it up. A lot of people are doing it, but try and promote a product you believe in, and then it just seamlessly happens. You're not forcing yourself. You're not talking about something you don't know if it works or not. Talk about something you know works. Okay, this is the last slide, guys. It was a 2-hour webinar. Oh my gosh. I spoke for 2 hours. I hope no one fell asleep. I didn't soothe anyone to sleep. But the last thing I want to talk about is mindset. And why am I talking about mindset first? Is because everything starts here. Look around your house right now, or your room, or wherever you are, and everything you see was once someone's thought. Someone once thought, oh my gosh, like when I record videos, it sounds very blurry and echoey and whatever. What if we create something that you don't have to hold, it has its own stand, and it's going to get rid of all the white noise in the background? They created it and they made millions. It's called a microphone. Someone thought, I don't want to count all the time with my fingers and drawing circles and oranges. What if I create a portable computer that will count for me, divide, percent, whatever, a calculator? Every single school uses a calculator. Someone once thought, I don't want to drive from here to Cape Town all the time. What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't want to be driving or walking long distance. What if I could fly? What if I could just fly? Do you think it's possible if I could just fly? What would I need? And an airplane was created. The first airplane by Leonardo DiCaprio. Da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci, my bad. Leonardo da Vinci. Not DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is Titanic. Da Vinci. So everything starts here. Everything starts here. Our thoughts are from our beliefs. So what do you believe about yourself? What you believe is what you think. What you think is what you say. Your thoughts create your words. Your words will create your actions. Your actions will create your reality. So if you're thinking and negative things, gossip will come out of your mouth, and hate will come out your mouth, you're going to act that way. You're going to give people attitude. You're going to be horrible to be around. You're going to be negative to be around. You're going to be draining. But you're going to attract those people who feed off that. They like the gossip. They like the negative and, wanting to bring people down. And your reality will be negative, a lot of anger, depression, You just have to change this. And because of this financial journey that we've just started together for 2025, I want you to focus on this over here, right here. In this journey of paying off debt, you're not just solving a financial problem, you are regaining control of your life, you are reducing stress, and you're opening doors to a brighter financial future. So write that, write I am. I'm regaining control over my life. I am reducing stress. I am opening doors to a brighter financial future. And say that all the time. I've got more affirmations over here for you. I want you to say that every morning. When you wake up in the morning, when you do your prayers, thank you, God, for waking me up today. I speak that this is going to be a blessed and a loving day. Bring the opportunities to me. Make me prepared for the opportunities so that I don't miss the opportunities. Because remember, opportunities meet preparations. You have to be prepared. And then after that, repeat this. I'm regaining control over my life. I'm reducing stress. I'm opening doors to a brighter future. And there's more in here. I am in control of my finances and my future. Every small step I take leads me closer to financial freedom. I have the discipline and the resilience to overcome this challenge, because it's not going to be easy, but you have the discipline and you have a resilience. You have to change the way you identify yourself, change your identity. I am a resilient and a disciplined person who's going to achieve financial freedom. I choose that. Okay, I want you to focus on the bigger picture. Focus on yourself being debt-free. I want you to learn from your mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. It's done. It's happened. Whatever mistake it was, it's done. Learn from them though. Learn that lesson. And then take off from there. I want you to avoid comparison. Don't compare yourself to anyone. If you see me being able to pay the 12,000 extra in my debt because I had a good month, don't compare yourself. Be inspired and celebrate that you were able to pay whatever amount you paid. Celebrate that, yeah. So celebrate small wins. Stick to the plan. Trust the process. Okay? Remember, I said we cannot just jump to the top. You have to take the steps to get there. You cannot go from 1 year old to 20 years old. Skylar right now, she wants to drive. When she sees me drive, she's like, Mommy, I want to drive. She's 6. If I put her behind the wheel, she'll crash and die. So the process is, when you get to the age of 16, I will give you those driving lessons because I know what's best for you. I'm trying to look out for you. So the plan that you created is to look out for you and is to help you get to the goal. But you need to stick to it. You need to be consistent. You need to trust that the plan is working. Check in with yourself every quarter. How much I've paid, how it's looking. Obviously, my YouTube videos are going to keep motivating you to do that. Focus on earning potential. Remember, we spoke about that, affiliate marketing, etc. And let me tell you now, no millionaire that you know has ever become a millionaire from just one income. No. They're lying to you. If they say I became a millionaire from just one income, they're lying. If they're saying they found financial freedom and they own their time from my full-time job, they're lying. They learned how to make more than one stream of income. This income is just for bills. This income is just for investments. This income is to pay off my debt. Okay, make temporary sacrifices. We spoke about that. It's temporary. You not going on a vacation with your friends that are going to Thailand and taking that money and putting into debt is temporary. Thailand is not going anywhere. When you pay off your debt, you go to Thailand and you know you're not using a credit card. You know you're not in debt. You know that 2 years later, you're not going to be still paying off that trip. Strengthen your why. I told you my why is right in front of me. Well, she walks around all the time, but I have her picture right here on my desk. So when I don't feel like working, when I don't feel like recording videos, I'm like, gosh, Skylar. And give yourself grace. We were not taught this in school. Take it day by day. The fact that you are on this webinar means you are trying. And I'm proud of you. So thank you so much, guys. That is it from me. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chats. Or when I upload it on YouTube, you can put it in the comments and I will respond. You're welcome. Or you can email me, whatever. But I appreciate you guys and have a lovely weekend. You are welcome. Yeah, I think that is it from me. There are no questions. I'm looking at the chat. Okay. Oh, you are welcome. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you hopefully on the next webinar if you are interested, or on YouTube or wherever. Bye. Okay, stop sharing Zoom. Stop stressing me out. You're welcome. Bye.